This space discovery is rewriting what we know about reality. There was a moment, not long ago, when astronomers looked into the darkness beyond our galaxy and saw something that should not have been there. At first, they believed it was an error, a malfunction inside the instruments, a distortion caused by distance, radiation, or light traveling across billions of years. But the anomaly remained, silent, immovable, impossible. What they discovered was not just another object drifting through space. It was something far more disturbing, something that seemed to challenge the structure of reality itself. For generations, humanity believed the universe was slowly surrendering its secrets. We mapped the stars, measured the age of galaxies, calculated the birth of space and time with equations so precise they could predict the motion of planets centuries into the future. Science gave us confidence that the cosmos, no matter how vast, obeyed understandable laws. But now, that confidence is beginning to fracture. Because hidden in the deepest regions of space are discoveries that refuse to fit inside everything modern physics says should be possible. Galaxies appearing far too early after the Big Bang. Cosmic structures so enormous they should never have had enough time to form. Gravitational behaviors that make no sense under current theories. It is as if the universe itself is quietly telling us that we may have misunderstood the rules from the beginning. And perhaps the most unsettling part is this: the deeper we look into space, the more reality begins to feel unfamiliar. Tonight, we are not simply exploring a scientific discovery. We are standing at the edge of a question that could redefine humanity's understanding of existence itself. Because somewhere beyond the stars, beyond the limits of certainty, the universe may be revealing that reality is far stranger than we ever imagined. The night the universe stopped making sense. It began with a signal buried inside oceans of cosmic data. Nothing dramatic at first, no explosion, no sudden announcement that would shake the world overnight. Just a faint irregularity detected by astronomers studying the distant universe through some of the most advanced telescopes humanity has ever built. At first glance, it looked ordinary, a distant structure glowing from a time when the universe was still young. But the deeper scientists investigated, the more unsettling the discovery became. According to everything modern cosmology understood, what they were seeing should not have existed at all. The object appeared impossibly old. Its light had traveled across billions of years to reach Earth, carrying a message from a period shortly after the birth of the universe itself. And yet the structure already looked mature, organized, evolved. It resembled something that should have required far more time to form than the universe had supposedly allowed at that stage of cosmic history. That was the moment confusion began spreading through the scientific community, because the universe had just violated its own timeline. For decades, physicists believed they understood how the cosmos evolved after the Big Bang. Tiny fluctuations became stars, stars gathered into galaxies, galaxies merged into larger cosmic structures over unimaginable stretches of time. The process was slow, orderly, predictable. But this discovery shattered that sequence completely. Some researchers questioned the data. Others believed there had to be hidden variables interfering with the observation. Entire teams rechecked calculations repeatedly, hoping to find a mistake capable of restoring reality to something familiar. But every new analysis only deepened the mystery. The impossible object remained impossible. And then came an even more disturbing realization. This was not the only anomaly. As telescopes peered deeper into space, more impossible structures began appearing. Ancient galaxies that looked too massive, black holes too large for their age, regions of the universe behaving in ways no existing model could fully explain. Slowly, an uncomfortable thought emerged from the darkness. Maybe the problem was not the data. Maybe the problem was our understanding of the universe itself. For the first time in generations, scientists found themselves confronting something they had spent centuries trying to eliminate from physics: uncertainty. Not uncertainty about details, uncertainty about the foundations of reality. And as humanity continued searching deeper into the cosmos, another terrifying possibility began to emerge. What if these discoveries were not random exceptions? What if they were evidence that the universe operates according to rules we have not yet discovered? Because if that is true, then humanity may be standing at the beginning of a scientific revolution unlike anything in history. The dangerous illusion that science had almost solved the cosmos. For most of human history, the universe was a terrifying mystery. Ancient civilizations looked toward the night sky and saw gods, omens, eternal fires suspended above a fragile world. The stars felt unreachable. The cosmos appeared infinite, silent, and beyond comprehension. Humanity existed beneath it, like children staring into an ocean without shores. Then science changed everything. Slowly, century after century, humanity began pulling reality apart piece by piece. Isaac Newton revealed that the same force causing an apple to fall also controlled the motion of planets. Albert Einstein transformed gravity from an invisible force into the curvature of space-time itself. Edwin Hubble discovered that the universe was expanding. Quantum physics exposed hidden laws governing matter at the smallest scales imaginable. For the first time in history, it seemed possible that the universe could actually be understood. And perhaps without realizing it, humanity became comfortable with that idea. By the late 20th century, modern cosmology had assembled what appeared to be an extraordinary triumph of human intelligence. Scientists could estimate the age of the universe, predict the behavior of stars billions of years into the future, simulate galaxy formation with astonishing precision. The Big Bang Theory connected the birth of space, time, matter, and energy into a coherent cosmic narrative. There were still unanswered questions, of course. Dark matter remained invisible. Dark energy continued expanding the universe for unknown reasons. Black holes concealed physics beyond current understanding. But despite those mysteries, many believed the foundation itself was secure. The universe seemed orderly, predictable, explainable. Humanity had begun to feel intellectually powerful inside the cosmos, and that confidence changed the way civilization viewed reality itself. The laws of physics were treated almost like sacred truths, stable, universal, eternal. It became easy to assume that although some details remained hidden, the overall structure of existence had already been discovered. Future generations, many believed, would simply refine the equations humanity already possessed. But the universe was preparing a brutal reminder, a reminder that knowledge can create illusions just as dangerous as ignorance. Because hidden beneath the apparent success of modern cosmology were cracks that scientists tried desperately to ignore. Tiny inconsistencies, observations that did not perfectly align with theoretical predictions, gravitational behaviors that required invisible matter to explain, quantum paradoxes that shattered common sense, deep tensions between relativity and quantum mechanics that no unified theory could solve. The universe worked, but only if physicists added invisible ingredients they could not directly detect. And slowly, an uncomfortable question began emerging inside the scientific community. What if humanity had mistaken useful models for ultimate truth? Because there is a dangerous difference between understanding reality and merely approximating it. For centuries, people believed Earth stood at the center of the cosmos. The model appeared convincing because it explained what human eyes could observe. Then, better observations shattered that illusion completely. Later, Newton's laws seemed absolute, until Einstein revealed they were only part of a deeper structure. Even Einstein's theories, despite their brilliance, collapse inside black holes and fail at quantum scales. Again and again, history delivered the same warning. Every generation believes it has reached the edge of understanding. Every generation eventually discovers it was standing at the beginning of a far larger mystery. And now, as impossible discoveries continue emerging from deep space, that ancient pattern may be repeating once more. Because the terrifying possibility facing modern science is not simply that a few equations are wrong. It is that humanity may have misunderstood the architecture of reality itself. And if the foundations are unstable, then every certainty built upon them may begin collapsing one by one. The discovery that should not exist. The deeper humanity looked into the universe, the stranger reality became. When the newest generation of space telescopes began observing regions farther than ever before, scientists expected to witness the early stages of cosmic evolution. According to modern cosmology, the first galaxies after the Big Bang should have been small, chaotic, unstable collections of stars slowly assembling themselves over immense periods of time. But that is not what appeared in the darkness. Instead, astronomers found gigantic galaxies already fully formed only a few 100 million years after the birth of the universe. Massive structures glowing with the maturity of systems that should have required billions of years to evolve. Some contained enormous black holes at their centers, objects so large they should not have had enough time to grow under current physical models. At first, researchers assumed the observations had to be misleading. The distances involved were almost incomprehensible. Light from those objects had traveled across nearly the entire history of the universe to reach Earth. A single miscalculation in brightness, age, or distance could completely alter the interpretation. Scientists reprocessed the data repeatedly, searching for errors capable of restoring order to the cosmic timeline. But the more carefully they examined the evidence, the more disturbing the conclusion became. The galaxies were real, and they should not have existed. Suddenly, one of the central assumptions of cosmology began collapsing in front of the scientific world. The early universe was not behaving the way it was supposed to behave. It was evolving too quickly, forming structures too early, organizing itself with impossible speed. It was as if the cosmos had ignored its own developmental rules, and the implications reached far beyond a few strange galaxies. Because modern cosmology depends on a very delicate sequence of events. After the Big Bang, matter spread throughout the young universe. Gravity slowly pulled that matter together across vast periods of time. Tiny fluctuations became stars. Stars gathered into galaxies. Galaxies merged into clusters. The entire cosmic structure humanity observes today emerged through gradual evolution over billions of years. But now astronomers were seeing evidence that this process may have unfolded very differently. Some scientists proposed that the early universe was somehow denser than expected. Others suggested unknown forms of matter or exotic physical processes accelerated galaxy formation. More radical theories questioned whether the Big Bang model itself might require serious revision. And then came another terrifying realization. These anomalies were not isolated discoveries. Every year, new observations pushed the problem further. Galaxies continued appearing older than they should have been. Black holes continued appearing larger than existing theories allowed. Certain cosmic structures stretched across distances so enormous they seemed to violate the known limits of how matter organizes itself in the universe. The deeper humanity looked, the less reality behaved rationally. And perhaps the most unsettling part was not the existence of these impossible objects. It was the silence surrounding them. Because the universe was not offering explanations, it was simply presenting contradictions. Quietly, relentlessly, like fragments of a hidden truth humanity was never prepared to confront. For decades, science believed the universe could eventually become fully understandable through observation and mathematics. But now the cosmos itself appeared to be resisting that certainty. Every new telescope, every deeper observation, every attempt to clarify reality seemed to reveal something even more incomprehensible waiting beyond it. And somewhere inside that growing darkness, a frightening question began emerging among physicists. What if these discoveries are not anomalies at all? What if impossible structures are actually clues pointing toward a deeper layer of reality humanity has never seen before? Because if the universe truly operates according to hidden rules beyond current physics, then humanity may not simply be missing information. Humanity may be observing only a fraction of what reality actually is. Why the laws of physics may be breaking in deep space. For centuries, the laws of physics were treated as universal truths. It did not matter whether you stood on Earth, traveled beyond the solar system, or observed galaxies billions of light years away. Gravity behaved the same. Time followed the same rules. Matter obeyed the same equations. The universe appeared governed by principles so stable that scientists could predict eclipses, planetary motion, and the death of stars with astonishing accuracy. That belief became the foundation of modern civilization. Every spacecraft humanity launched into the cosmos depended on those laws remaining constant. Every model of cosmic evolution assumed that physics operated identically across all regions of space and time. The universe seemed reliable, consistent, rational. But now, deep space is beginning to tell a different story. As astronomers continue observing the earliest regions of the universe, strange inconsistencies are appearing everywhere. Galaxies rotate too quickly for the visible matter they contain. Entire clusters of galaxies move as though influenced by invisible gravitational forces. Light bends in ways that suggest reality itself may contain hidden structures humanity cannot directly observe. At first, scientists attempted to preserve the existing model by introducing dark matter, an invisible substance supposedly filling the universe, exerting gravitational influence without emitting light. According to current estimates, dark matter may represent most of the matter in existence. Yet despite decades of searching, humanity has never directly detected it. That alone should have been unsettling. Imagine realizing that most of the universe may consist of something completely invisible, something humanity cannot touch, photograph, or fully explain. It would mean that everything familiar, every planet, every star, every human being represents only a tiny fraction of reality. But the mysteries did not stop there. Then came dark energy, another invisible force, even stranger, even more disturbing. Scientists discovered that the expansion of the universe is accelerating. Galaxies are not simply moving apart. They are being pushed apart faster over time by something unknown, something powerful enough to dominate the fate of the cosmos itself. And once again, no one truly understands what it is. Suddenly, the elegant universe humanity believed it understood became haunted by invisible components controlling almost everything. Ordinary matter, the matter forming stars, planets, oceans, and human bodies, now appears to represent only a small percentage of cosmic existence. The rest remains hidden behind forces and structures science can barely describe. But even more frightening possibilities are beginning to emerge. Some physicists now wonder whether gravity itself may behave differently at immense cosmic scales. Others question whether space-time changes its properties across the universe. Certain observations suggest that the fundamental constants of physics may not be perfectly constant after all. That idea is almost impossible to comprehend, because if the laws themselves can change, then reality is not fixed. Reality becomes dynamic, unstable, alive with behaviors humanity has never fully understood. Imagine discovering that the rules governing existence are not eternal truths, but local approximations limited by human perception. It would mean the universe is not a machine operating under rigid laws. It would mean the cosmos possesses layers of complexity still hidden beyond the reach of modern science. And perhaps this is why every deeper observation creates more confusion instead of clarity. Humanity expected powerful telescopes to confirm existing theories. Instead, they are exposing weaknesses buried beneath centuries of scientific confidence. The deeper scientists look into space, the more reality begins slipping beyond familiar explanations. For the first time in modern history, some physicists are being forced to confront a terrifying possibility. What if the universe was never designed to be fully understandable by the human mind? Because somewhere beyond the limits of observation, beyond equations and measurements, reality may operate according to principles humanity has not yet evolved to comprehend. And if that is true, then the greatest mystery in the universe may not be hidden in distant galaxies. It may be hidden in the limitations of human understanding itself. The hidden war between Einstein and the universe. There was a time when Albert Einstein seemed to bring order to the cosmos. With a handful of equations, he transformed humanity's understanding of reality itself. Space and time were no longer separate entities drifting independently through existence. They became part of a single fabric, woven together into the structure of the universe. Gravity was not an invisible force pulling objects together. It was the bending of space-time caused by mass and energy. The idea was so revolutionary that it changed science forever, and the universe appeared to agree with him. Einstein's predictions repeatedly proved correct. Light bent around stars exactly as his equations described. Time slowed near massive objects. Black holes emerged naturally from his theory long before humanity ever observed one. Even the expansion of the universe fit inside the framework he helped create. For over a century, relativity became one of the greatest intellectual triumphs in human history. But now, deep space may be exposing the limits of Einstein's vision. Not because his theories failed completely, but because reality may be even stranger than he imagined. As modern telescopes observe the universe at increasingly extreme scales, subtle tensions are beginning to appear between observation and prediction. Galaxies behave oddly. Cosmic expansion does not perfectly align with theoretical expectations. Black holes continue revealing paradoxes capable of breaking physics itself. And hidden beneath all of it lies a problem so profound that physicists have struggled with it for generations. Einstein's universe and the quantum universe refuse to coexist peacefully. On large scales, relativity explains the cosmos with extraordinary precision. Planets orbit stars, galaxies evolve, space-time bends exactly as expected. But at microscopic scales, reality follows entirely different rules. Quantum particles ignore certainty. Cause and effect become unstable. Matter behaves like probability instead of solid existence. The two systems work independently, but together, they collapse into contradiction. Inside black holes, the conflict becomes catastrophic. Relativity predicts infinite density. quantum mechanics rejects infinities completely. The laws governing the large and the small begin tearing reality apart mathematically, as though the universe itself contains incompatible instructions hidden beneath its surface. For decades, physicists hoped a deeper theory would unite everything, a final framework capable of explaining all forces, all particles, all dimensions of existence. Some called it the theory of everything, a single equation that could reveal the architecture of reality itself. But every attempt has encountered new walls. String theory introduced hidden dimensions, but lacked direct evidence. Quantum gravity models produced elegant mathematics without observational confirmation. Even the most brilliant scientific minds on Earth continue struggling to reconcile the universe into a coherent whole. And now, recent discoveries may be making that conflict even worse. Because the cosmos no longer appears merely incomplete, it appears resistant to simplification. Every anomaly discovered in deep space creates additional strain between theory and observation. It is as if the universe keeps pushing beyond the boundaries of human logic, refusing to compress itself into equations simple enough for the human mind to contain. That realization carries a strange emotional weight. For generations, humanity believed intelligence would eventually conquer cosmic mystery. Science became a ladder ascending toward complete understanding. But now the ladder itself seems unstable. The closer physicists move toward ultimate answers, the more reality fragments into deeper uncertainty. And perhaps that is the hidden war taking place inside modern science. Not a war between scientists, a war between human expectation and the true nature of the universe. Because Einstein gave humanity something extraordinary, the belief that reality could be understood through reason. But the deeper humanity travels into space, the more the cosmos seems to whisper a terrifying possibility. That understanding reality and fully comprehending it may not be the same thing. And somewhere beyond the edge of current physics, beyond relativity, beyond quantum mechanics, beyond everything humanity has built to explain existence, the universe may still be hiding laws so alien that even Einstein's imagination could never have predicted them. What if reality is only a small fragment of something larger? Human beings experience reality with extraordinary confidence. You wake up each morning believing the world around you is solid, stable, and fundamentally understandable. Space feels real. Time feels constant. Objects appear separate from one another. Cause creates effect. The universe seems structured according to rules the human mind can gradually uncover. But what if that confidence is an illusion created by perception itself? What if reality, as humanity experiences it, represents only a tiny visible layer of something vastly larger and infinitely stranger? This possibility no longer belongs exclusively to philosophy. Modern physics has slowly begun approaching conclusions that sound almost impossible to accept emotionally. The deeper scientists explore the universe, the more evidence suggests that human perception may reveal only a narrow slice of existence. Not because reality is hiding from us intentionally, but because the human brain evolved to survive on Earth, not to comprehend the full architecture of the cosmos. Your senses are already filtering reality constantly. Human eyes detect only a tiny portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. Invisible waves pass through your body every second without you noticing. Radio signals, gamma rays, infrared radiation, ultraviolet light, cosmic particles from distant stars. Entire layers of the universe exist beyond direct human perception. And that realization leads to an unsettling question. If human beings naturally experience only a fraction of physical reality, how can anyone be certain the universe ends where perception ends? Some physicists now suspect reality may contain hidden dimensions folded beyond human awareness. According to certain theories, the universe may possess additional spatial dimensions, compressed into scales too small to observe directly. Others propose that spacetime itself could emerge from deeper informational structures humanity does not yet understand. Even more disturbing are discoveries from quantum mechanics. At microscopic scales, particles behave in ways that defy ordinary logic completely. They exist in uncertain states. They influence one another across enormous distances. Observation itself appears connected to physical outcomes in ways science still struggles to explain fully. Reality becomes unstable when viewed deeply enough, and perhaps that instability reveals something profound. Maybe the universe was never meant to appear intuitive to creatures like us. Imagine a fish attempting to understand the existence of continents while spending its entire life underwater. Its perception would define reality according to the limits of its environment. Oceans would seem complete, total, self-contained, yet an entirely larger world would exist beyond its awareness. Humanity may occupy a similar position inside the cosmos. We measure reality through brains shaped by evolution, constrained by biological perception, trapped inside linear time and three-dimensional experience. Every scientific instrument humanity builds extends those senses slightly further. But even our greatest discoveries may still be revealing only shadows cast by deeper structures hidden beneath existence itself. And that possibility changes everything. Because if reality contains layers beyond ordinary human comprehension, then many of the universe's greatest mysteries may not be mysteries at all. Dark matter, quantum uncertainty, cosmic anomalies, gravitational distortions, even space-time itself could be fragments of a much larger framework humanity has barely begun detecting. Suddenly, the cosmos no longer feels empty. It feels concealed, as though the visible universe is only the surface of something enormous waiting beyond perception. And perhaps this explains why every answer science discovers eventually creates even deeper questions. Humanity keeps expecting the universe to become simpler, with greater knowledge. Instead, reality becomes more abstract, more unsettling, more difficult to contain within familiar ideas. The deeper we look, the less existence resembles the stable mechanical universe people once imagined. It begins resembling something alive with hidden complexity, something layered, something far beyond the limits of human intuition. And somewhere inside that terrifying possibility lies a thought capable of changing how humanity sees itself forever. What if the universe humanity observes is not objective reality at all? What if it is only the portion reality allows us to perceive? The terrifying possibility that the universe is alive with unknown forces. For thousands of years, humanity believed the universe was mostly empty. The stars appeared scattered across a silent void, separated by unimaginable distances inside a cold cosmic darkness. Even after science revealed the existence of galaxies, black holes, and expanding spacetime, the universe still seemed governed by visible matter and predictable physical interactions. But modern astronomy has uncovered something deeply unsettling. Most of the universe may consist of forces humanity cannot see, cannot touch, and still cannot fully explain. And those hidden forces appear to control the fate of the cosmos itself. The first warning emerged when astronomers studied how galaxies rotate. According to gravity, stars near the outer edges of galaxies should move more slowly than stars closer to the center. But that is not what observations revealed. Instead, galaxies rotated as though enormous amounts of invisible matter surrounded them, holding everything together with unseen gravitational influence. The numbers made no sense. There was not enough visible matter in the universe to produce the gravity scientists were observing. Something hidden was shaping reality from the shadows. That invisible presence became known as dark matter. But despite decades of investigation, humanity still does not know what dark matter actually is. It emits no light, reflects no radiation, interacts so weakly with ordinary matter that it passes through entire planets almost undetected. Yet without it, galaxies themselves may never have formed. Think about the scale of that realization. Every star you see in the night sky, every planet, every nebula, every black hole, every human being may represent only a tiny fraction of the matter existing in the cosmos. The overwhelming majority remains invisible, surrounding galaxies like enormous hidden skeletons, shaping the structure of reality itself. And somehow, the universe became even stranger. In the late 20th century, scientists discovered that cosmic expansion is accelerating. Galaxies are not merely drifting apart after the Big Bang. Something is actively driving them away from one another faster over time. A mysterious force stronger than gravity itself appears woven into the fabric of space-time. That force became known as dark energy, and once again, humanity had no idea what it truly was. Today, scientists estimate that ordinary matter represents only a small percentage of the universe. Everything familiar to human existence exists inside an incredibly thin layer of reality. The rest is dominated by invisible components no one fully understands. This changes the emotional meaning of the cosmos completely. The universe no longer feels like an empty vacuum filled with isolated stars. It feels occupied by hidden influences operating everywhere at once. Unknown forces shaping galaxies, invisible structures bending spacetime, unseen energies controlling cosmic expansion, and humanity exists inside all of it without fully understanding any of it. But perhaps the most unsettling possibility is not that these forces exist. It is that they may interact with reality in ways far beyond current scientific imagination. Some physicists now wonder whether dark matter could form hidden cosmic structures humanity cannot directly observe. Others speculate that unknown fields or particles may permeate the universe continuously, influencing matter, time, and even consciousness itself. Certain theories suggest reality may contain interactions occurring beyond the visible dimensions humans experience. The deeper science investigates, the more the universe begins resembling something active rather than passive. Not alive in the biological sense, alive with processes humanity cannot yet perceive. Alive with hidden systems operating beneath visible existence. And suddenly, the cosmos no longer appears silent. It appears filled with invisible motion, invisible architecture, invisible influence, like an enormous machine whose internal mechanisms remain hidden behind the surface of reality itself. That realization creates a profound psychological shift, because humanity once believed ignorance meant emptiness. Ancient people imagined unexplored regions of the world as blank spaces waiting to be discovered. But modern cosmology is revealing the opposite truth. The unknown is not empty. The unknown may be crowded with realities humanity has not yet learned to see. And somewhere within those invisible layers of existence may lie answers capable of transforming everything people believe about the universe, matter, time, and even life itself. Why human consciousness may not be separate from the cosmos. There is a question science has avoided for centuries, not because it lacks importance, but because it feels dangerous. A question so unsettling that even many physicists hesitate to approach it directly. Because hidden behind equations, particles, galaxies, and space-time lies one mystery more intimate than all the others combined: consciousness. The simple fact that the universe has become aware of itself through living minds. For most of modern scientific history, consciousness was treated as a secondary phenomenon, an accidental byproduct of biology. Matter organized itself into brains, brains produced thought, and thought observed reality from the outside like a spectator watching the universe unfold. But the deeper physics explores reality, the harder that separation becomes to maintain, especially inside the quantum world. At microscopic scales, particles do not behave like ordinary objects. They exist in probabilities rather than fixed states. Until observation occurs, quantum systems remain strangely undefined, suspended between multiple possibilities at once. Only when measured does reality appear to settle into a specific outcome. This discovery shocked physicists from the beginning, because it introduced something deeply unsettling into science: the observer. Suddenly, observation itself seemed connected to physical reality in ways nobody fully understood. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest consciousness plays no direct role. Others leave the possibility open that awareness may influence how reality manifests at fundamental levels. Even today, scientists fiercely debate what quantum observation truly means. But one fact remains impossible to ignore: the universe behaves differently when observed, and that changes the emotional landscape of existence completely. Because humanity is no longer standing outside the cosmos as detached witnesses. Conscious beings are participants inside reality itself. The act of perceiving may not simply reveal the universe, it may interact with it in subtle ways modern science still cannot fully explain. That idea becomes even stranger when combined with cosmology. Every atom inside the human body was forged inside ancient stars. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen you breathe, the iron inside your blood all originated deep within exploding suns billions of years ago. Human consciousness emerged from matter shaped by cosmic evolution itself. In a very literal sense, the universe became conscious through us. The cosmos evolved nervous systems capable of reflection. Collections of atoms began asking questions about atoms. Fragments of stardust developed awareness and turned their eyes back toward the stars, searching for meaning. And perhaps that is more than poetic symbolism. Some physicists and philosophers now wonder whether consciousness may represent something fundamental rather than accidental. Not separate from reality, but woven into it. Certain theories propose that awareness could emerge naturally from deeper informational structures embedded within the universe itself. Others explore the possibility that space-time, matter, and consciousness may be interconnected aspects of a larger hidden framework humanity has not yet discovered. These ideas remain controversial, but so did many scientific truths before humanity understood them. There was a time when invisible atoms sounded absurd, when curved space-time sounded impossible, when quantum entanglement seemed indistinguishable from magic. History repeatedly demonstrates that reality often behaves far stranger than human intuition allows. And now, consciousness stands at the edge of that same mystery. Because despite all technological advancement, humanity still cannot explain one extraordinary fact: why awareness exists at all. Why does the universe contain subjective experience? Why do thoughts emerge from matter? Why does reality feel like something from the inside? Science can describe neural activity, measure electrical signals, map regions of the brain. But the deepest part of consciousness, the actual experience of existing, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in existence. And perhaps that mystery is connected to the cosmos more deeply than humanity realizes. Because if consciousness is not separate from reality, then the implications become enormous. The universe is no longer just a collection of dead matter drifting through empty space. It becomes something profoundly interconnected, a cosmos capable of producing awareness, a reality in which observers emerge naturally from the very fabric of existence. And somewhere beyond the limits of current understanding lies a possibility, both beautiful and terrifying, that humanity may not simply exist inside the universe. Humanity may be part of the way the universe experiences itself. The discovery that could redefine humanity forever. There are moments in history when a single discovery changes the trajectory of civilization. When humanity realizes the world is not what it believed, the Earth was not the center of the cosmos, time was not absolute, space was not empty, reality itself was not fixed. Each revelation shattered an older version of human certainty and forced civilization into a new understanding of existence. But what is happening now may be far larger than any scientific revolution before it. Because this discovery does not simply challenge one theory, it challenges the foundation of how humanity perceives reality itself. For the first time in generations, scientists are confronting the possibility that the universe may operate according to principles far beyond current human comprehension. Not because intelligence has failed, but because reality may be deeper, stranger, and more layered than the human mind was ever prepared to imagine. And if that is true, humanity is approaching a turning point unlike anything in history. Imagine what happens when civilization fully accepts that most of the universe is invisible, that space-time may not be fundamental, that consciousness itself may be connected to reality in unknown ways, that the laws of physics humanity trusted for centuries may only describe a tiny region of a far larger cosmic structure. Everything changes, science changes, philosophy changes, technology changes. Even humanity's emotional relationship with existence changes. Because for centuries, people viewed themselves as isolated beings surviving on a small planet inside a mechanical universe. The cosmos felt cold, indifferent, vast beyond comprehension. Human life appeared temporary and insignificant against the scale of eternity. But these discoveries are creating a different picture entirely. A universe filled with hidden structures, invisible forces, unanswered connections, layers of reality still waiting to be uncovered. And suddenly, humanity no longer feels like a species approaching the end of knowledge. Humanity feels like a species standing at the beginning of a much larger awakening. This transformation is already happening quietly inside modern science. Physicists are questioning assumptions once treated as absolute truths. New theories about space-time, information, and quantum reality are emerging faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence is accelerating scientific discovery beyond anything previous generations could have imagined. Telescopes are peering deeper into cosmic history with every passing year, and each new observation seems to reveal the same unsettling pattern. Reality is stranger than expected, far stranger. The implications extend far beyond laboratories and observatories, because discoveries like these reshape culture itself. They influence how human beings understand meaning, purpose, intelligence, and existence. Future generations may look back on this era the same way modern civilization looks back on the Copernican revolution or the birth of relativity, a moment when humanity's understanding of reality fundamentally shifted. But there is also something deeply emotional hidden inside this transformation. For all its scientific complexity, this discovery touches an ancient human feeling that has existed since the beginning of civilization: wonder. The same feeling experienced by ancient people staring at the stars without understanding what they were seeing. The same feeling that drove explorers across oceans and scientists toward impossible questions. The realization that existence is infinitely larger than human certainty. And perhaps that is why discoveries like this affect people so deeply. Because they remind humanity that mystery still exists. That despite all technological advancement, despite satellites, equations, supercomputers, and telescopes capable of observing ancient galaxies, the universe still contains truths capable of humbling civilization completely. There is something profoundly beautiful about that. Humanity has not reached the end of discovery. Humanity may have only just begun to understand how vast the unknown truly is. And somewhere beyond the edge of current knowledge, beyond the visible universe, beyond the limits of human imagination, reality may still be hiding revelations capable of transforming civilization forever. We have reached the edge of what humans can understand. At the beginning of this journey, the universe seemed like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Humanity believed that with enough time, enough intelligence, and enough technology, every mystery would eventually surrender to reason. The stars would be mapped, the laws of physics would be unified, reality itself would become understandable through mathematics and observation. But now, standing at the edge of modern discovery, something extraordinary is beginning to happen. The universe is not becoming simpler. It is becoming more mysterious. Every deeper observation reveals another layer hidden beneath the previous one. Every answer creates larger questions. Every breakthrough exposes new contradictions stretching beyond the limits of human understanding. The cosmos no longer feels like a machine waiting to be decoded. It feels alive with infinite complexity. And perhaps the most unsettling realization of all is this: humanity may never fully comprehend it. Not because science has failed, not because curiosity is weak, but because the human mind itself may be finite inside an infinite reality. That thought is difficult to accept emotionally. Civilization was built on the belief that knowledge expands toward mastery, that ignorance is temporary, that mysteries exist only until intelligence reaches them. But the universe may not operate according to human expectations. There may be truths so enormous that the brain cannot fully contain them. Dimensions beyond intuitive understanding, structures beyond perception, laws beyond mathematics humanity currently possesses. And still, despite that terrifying possibility, humanity continues searching. That may be the most extraordinary part of all. Across the history of civilization, human beings have always looked beyond the horizon. Ancient astronomers tracked the movement of stars without understanding what stars truly were. Philosophers questioned existence without telescopes or particle accelerators. Scientists spent generations chasing invisible forces long before technology could confirm them. Humanity has always reached toward the unknown, not because certainty was guaranteed, but because wonder itself became part of what it means to be human. And now, for the first time in modern history, science is rediscovering something ancient people understood instinctively when they looked into the night sky. The universe is not merely a collection of objects. It is a mystery, a vast and evolving reality that continues expanding beyond every boundary humanity attempts to place around it. The deeper civilization travels into space, the more existence reveals its terrifying beauty. Galaxies stretch across unimaginable distances. Black holes distort space and time. Invisible forces shape cosmic evolution from the shadows. Conscious beings emerge from stardust and begin questioning the nature of reality itself. Somewhere inside all of this lies a truth both humbling and beautiful. Humanity was never separate from the cosmos. We are part of it. The atoms inside your body were born inside ancient stars. The consciousness listening to these words emerged from the same universe now trying to understand itself through human awareness. Across billions of years of cosmic evolution, reality produced beings capable of asking questions about reality itself. That alone may be one of the most astonishing discoveries in existence. And perhaps the true meaning of these impossible cosmic discoveries is not that humanity's understanding has failed. Perhaps their true meaning is that reality is far more extraordinary than human certainty ever allowed. Because somewhere beyond the edge of observation, beyond the visible universe, beyond the limits of current science, there are still mysteries waiting in the dark. Silent, ancient, unimaginable, waiting for the next generation of human beings to look upward and ask the same question that has followed civilization since the beginning of time. What is this universe truly? And how much of it have we yet to see?